Zom 100 is easily my favorite shows of this season, and we're going to learn more about this show in today's episode of Exhausted Reviews, where I'm exhausted and I make reviews. And today we're looking at Zom 100 Episode 2 and Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 Episode 2. Now look, here's the thing about Zom 100. It's freaking sweet. I don't think I have to tell anybody who's actually seen the show. This show is freaking amazing. Directed by the same guy who did Komedy's Communication, this show stands out for its direction and its tone, especially. And the animation just so happens to be pretty freaking incredible too, if I might add, and I will. The first thing I want to talk about, and this is just the funniest thing to me, is this can of beer. Oh my god. I love the animators for animating this. I'm going to read this can of beer to you, okay? This is the best product made for you. I hope your life will improve. It is a proud product of our company. We want to be your wonderful life partner until this clean throat. Go ahead, pick it up, have fun. What the heck are they talking about? I love this show, man. I wish more cans had really inspirational and hopeful messages on them, and the show really gets you like ready for the tonal whiplash, because we start off super bright, super fun. He's like, oh, gotta go to the store to get some beer, and then he's literally watching he's literally watching TV, and the people are literally being eaten live on TV as the zombies are trying to. I mean, hey, you know what? They at least, at least they're dedicated. They're dedicated about their jobs, and you really can't fault them for that. I mean, so while he just so happens to be climbing down, his some neighbors from across the way are barricading themselves. This is like a real zombie situation. You kind of forget with him just hanging out. There are real people like out here trapped and like literally dying. And I think that's one of the fun things that the show does, is that it doesn't really make you feel like it's an apocalypse. Yes, literally people are dying, but the show still wants to have fun. It still has the funny moment where he's climbing down and they meet each other and scream, and then his wife comes out and starts screaming. And he's like, oh, sorry, my staircase is full of zombies, so I gotta come down this way. Really hilarious. He meets those guys. He's like, I'll come back and bring you some flashlights and stuff. Also noticing the CGI here upon pausing and watching it. But it really doesn't matter. The CGI is not bad. It's not noticeable in the show. I think they're doing a great job with the show. Honestly, I really do. So, and then she, of course, is like, if you can get toilet paper, get the 2-ply, please. Thank you. So funny. So he's making it to the street. And one thing we learn about this guy is that he's not really prepared. He's kind of just floating through life. He meets a girl in here, and obviously she's the most beautiful person on the planet. And you don't really know a lot about her, but you can kind of tell she's like grabbing water and stuff. And she has a couple baskets, and she's on her phone. And you're kind of just watching like, who is this girl? I mean, obviously she seems pretty serious, and our guy is definitely a concernable amount of happy-go-lucky in this zombie apocalypse. And then you see her on the camera, which is kind of funny. And then it cuts to this truck, and you're like, what the heck is going on? So the zombies, because the guy left the door open, the zombies start chasing him, following in, and he's like, oh no, I'll save you, miss. Tries to jump in front of her like he's some kind of hero, but he's not a hero. He gets freaking throne slammed onto the ground, and then boom. And I really like the way they animate this scene. They show the car hitting, they show like the actual truck itself scraping against the ceiling, and the slam. It's animated very well. And I like the direction of the series because they draw attention to stuff like that. You see the force, you see the smaller parts of a crash you wouldn't recommend. Like, seeing it up close and personal is more than just like showing it 3 times. Like you're actually seeing the damage like up close. Like, and it gives you a really front and personal idea of what is going on and what is happening in the story. And of course we get our lovely and seductive anime mounting pose. So this chick right here, she's a badass. Of course they show the butt shot right here, and he's all done for until he sees a moped, And then he's thinking what I'm thinking, like, yo, all of this stuff went down in the day. Maybe there's an even better upgrade. So he's riding the bike, and then he's like, yeah, nah, I got a real bike now. I don't know if he set this up, but there's like a door on top of a tire, and he literally does a freaking wheelie all the way home. It's really awesome, really epic, really something I would do if I was in a zombie apocalypse. Naturally, is doing wheelies in the street. So he gets back, and what I really didn't expect, I thought it was going to be a little funny scene of them still needing to be saved, but then he gets back, and the windows are shattered, and there's blood everywhere, and yeah, they're gone. And again, I really can't understate how good the colored blood is. Like the pinks, the blues, the purples, the greens, the yellows. It really does just such a great job of hiding some of the censorship a bit, but also it gives it such a unique identity. Now, to my understanding, the first episode was censored. Apparently, his girlfriend at the end of the episode was fully naked, and it was censored to have her in a nightgown, which I thought was funny because I mentioned that, like, man, she was really like a baddie if she was putting on. She's really down for real if she was putting on a nightgown for her. But it turns out that was just some TV censorship. Honestly, not a bad thing. It's not changing the original meaning. It's not taking away. It's literally just to get it onto TV. They even had a compromise. I don't know if you noticed this. I won't go back and show it. But one of her titties is all the way out. It's just covered in like pink paint. So really, it's not a big deal. Nothing anyone should be concerned about. Because the show is still good. And this is when we get to the heart of the show. I'm glad they took a couple episodes to actually get to this. And like explain where the show got its name, because he's in here writing down a list of things he wants to do, and he gets to about 30, and then he's like, man, what I really want to do is, I've lost 3 years of my life. Now I want to go meet the woman of my dreams and go see my family, and go see my friends. And he's got it all in this book called 100 Things I Want to Do Before Becoming a Zombie. And you're like, man, that's deep. That hits, especially at the end of the world when he's at the end of it. He's like, any day could be his last. It really makes you want to start living that way too. Like, I want to get my own little notebook of things I want to do and start going out into the world and doing things. And I think I will. This show is really inspirational. This show is telling you, like, yo, go live your life. Leave your house and stop working so much and go out and do things that you haven't done before. And that is just such a powerful message. I'm really down for that. And I really need this in my life. Honestly, right now, I think we all need a little bit of a push forward to go out and do bigger and better things. So you think the episode is over, but no, we cut to the girl who was in the store earlier. She's same morning with the lady on TV about to get eaten, and she's out here like basically doing research. She's doing like psycho research, literally. She's calling people, and she's literally like making a list of like, I need to get food and water. I need to minimize sugar intake. And you can't really tell here, but we'll go back to why this list is pretty cool in the first place. Her little shopping list. But she gets dressed. She's watching this. Not gets dressed. She's watching like zombie movies, and she's literally watching like observing zombies. She's like, some of these are walking, some of these are running. She's like, you really gotta pay attention. So she is like busy. She's busy. She's like actually getting her shit done. She's not just going to store for beer runs, because he was literally planning on spending his entire day just drinking beer and chilling. Literally, he's worked so long. That's the first thing he wants to do in a zombie apocalypse, is just drink beer and chill. And honestly, if that's not a sign of the times, I don't know what is. So she's able to set up her bike and the camera so she can kind of do some recon while she's in the store. And she is grabbing some stuff, and she sees this Sakura mochi. And she almost grabs it, but then she walks away from it. So she's living a very utilitarian life. Very, like, everything had its purpose with her. She's no excess waste, no space, no extra space. And so that's why when he asked for her contact number earlier in the scene, she's like, I am not talking to you because, like, you're clearly not prepared, and I don't associate with people who are going to hold me down. Let me skip this song because I don't think it really fits this. I've been listening to the Rhythm Heaven, not Rhythm Heaven, what am I talking about? Rhythm Thief, man. So, Rhythm Thief is. I remember that game. It's so expensive now. Anyways. So yeah, she's actually really smart because she's breaking down this entire situation like in real time. She's seeing the zombies come in. She's trying to plan her escape or potentially barricading. And then she hears a car horn. She's able to look and see the car is literally going crazy. Like it's literally out of control. And she is she's still trying to like save him. Literally, she's trying to save him while he's like basically trying to get himself killed. So she saves his life. And then she's like, yeah, no, I'm done. So she steals his bike, gets the hell out of here, goes home, and she's like, she sees this footage of him literally on a fucking trot into the store. And she's like, bro, why could one man be so happy for a beer when literally the entire world is falling apart? She's like, what does he have that I don't have? And she thinks to herself, and she's like, damn, maybe I should have grabbed that Sakura Mochi after all. So the main character is already having an effect on her, which is kind of hilarious. So, and it's especially funny when you watch the ending song, and she's the main character of the ending, and you realize, oh, this is our second main character. So, very well executed setup. The pacing so far has just been very nice. It's using the first 1.5 episodes to kind of fully set up our main character's arc, and getting into the same day events and the kind of backstory a little bit, just some context to her situation to the other girl. But I'm glad it looks like they're all gonna be friends and bro down and have a good time in this zombie apocalypse. So I'm definitely looking forward to Final Fantasy 15, but it's zombies. So speaking of being a zombie, our main character Akira has been going through life basically every day fades together as a zombie wage slave, and he's had to get out of that rut. And rudeus as well has been in a rut, but thankfully, as we can see here, he has found the power of bodybuilding. So rudeus is actually still training in Mushoku Tensei season 2 episode 2. He's still doing his training, and I have a feeling people are going to get tired of this kind of second season. That's Vinland Saga had this kind of season. Mushoku Tensei had this kind of season, and I'm sure Tokyo Revengers or some other shows will kind of have a season like this. We're just gonna call it the depression arc. If Vinland Saga season 2 was the slave arc, this is like his mercenary arc or something, or like his wandering townsman. He's still in the same town. And he has this adorable little panty shrine, which I thought he burned the panties last episode, but it was just the hair. So maybe he needs to focus on that. He needs to get that burned too. But we got this guy out here, and he is a real fucking... he's a strong adventurer, but he's kind of a stinkeroo. He's kind of a big stinker. You know, he's one of those guys who's like, yeah, I'm better than you. I'm going on a quest to go take some snow dragons, and it'll be no big deal for my crew. Everybody who's here, look at me, and you'll lose. So, whatever. Anyways, I don't know why they're calling him Quagmire. I feel bad for him, but honestly, it fits because Quagmire from Family Guy. I don't know if that was intentional or what, but that's just like a funny thing that I noticed is that he's kind of a pervert, and his name is Quagmire. So, he's trying to spread his name out throughout town, but people keep calling him Quagmire, and he's literally like praying to the panties that he has, and like, I don't know. It's just kind of weird. He needs to gray up. So he's kind of just like being used by the town folks for odd jobs, but he's also like doing stuff. And apparently he's not taking money for jobs, which we'll get into that later. But he's kind of he's literally just like role playing right now as a magic person around town. So homegirl Sarah pulls up and she's like, "Bro, are you gonna work with us or what, bro?" She's like, "Bro, are you coming? Are you pulling through or what?" So he ends up they have a little conversation, and she's like, "Bro, you really need to get your shit together." And they actually end up, shout out to my tan girl over here, but they actually end up going. So the guy earlier was talking about killing white dragons. Their job is to go to a ruin somewhere and pick up white dragon scales. So they're in here just for the scales. Totally different job. So they're in these ruins, they're picking up scales. Rudeus is watching her, and then she almost falls. And this place definitely has some importance, because he uses his demon eye to see her about to fall. And as we learn later on, there's a lot of dragons here. And even though it's a grade A mission, there's like we can't go past this statue. We just have to sit here and collect scales, which you wouldn't think collecting scales would be such a high rank mission. But as it turns out, while we're in here, rudeus sees a statue somewhere, and he starts thinking about a certain little goblin gremlin lolly demon. And yeah, so somehow they're in a shrine dedicated to her. I wonder if this is going to play into, if he's going to come back and she's going to be there, how this is going to play, because he's already met her, he's helped her out, and she gave him one of her eyes. So he is literally like a part of her now. I don't know how to say that. But while they're in there, these dragons just pull up out of nowhere. And it's like, whoa, where did these dragons come from? They weren't supposed to be here. And we get a cool scene of Rudy trying to box them off using his magic. And he thinks his party has left him alone. But nope, they come back and they help him. And they're taking out some. They kill a couple of them. And then all of a sudden, while they're fighting, some guy just lands from the sky. And wouldn't you know it, it's the guy from earlier coming after these freaking white dragons. And he's able to take them all out. And Timothy from the team is like, hey bro, nice to meet you. And you know what happens to him? Exactly what you think, bro. Look at the way man is pulling up. Look at the way this man is walking. What do you see? What do you think is about to happen? I'll tell you what happens. Timothy gets knocked the fuck out. He got slapped. Little sissy boy. So they're all about to fight. And he's like, I told that little boy I was gonna hunt the white dragons. And he's like, well, I heard him say it. But he said he was going to the cave. She's like, bro, you're in the cave? Bro, we're in the ruins. And he's Timothy, God bless his soul. He's like, yeah, man, even though I just got socked in the face, you know, we can still settle this misunderstanding. I'm sure these caves are connected. So, I'm sorry. It's my fault. And the guy's like, yeah, it is your fault. But, I'm sorry for hitting you. So, he does take most of the monsters, which is kind of a shame. But to be fair, they did chase a lot over there. So, they're going to get a lot of scales. You know, and Rudy finally joins them for a mission after work. And it's funny that this is the one where he joins them, because while they're out here talking about how, you know, you should, a lesser adventure would have left your ass to save themselves, he's over here reminiscing about that guy. And then he pulls up and he basically says what we're all thinking about Rudy playing his little depression arc. He's like, bro, first off, I hate your face. You're acting like you're the most miserable person in the world. Like nobody has problems worse than you. Second off, you don't stand up for yourself. You're a little pushover, and you smell like cheese. And third off, I don't like you apologizing for everything. Fourth off, you always care what everybody thinks about you, and you smell like cheese. And when you're laughing inside, you're actually dead. Everyone can tell, and you smell like cheese. You're clearly running away from something. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm an eyesore to you. Not getting the message. And this guy is like, he literally kicks the table. He literally like freaking just smashes that table. And he's like, bro, take this shit seriously. You're out here playing around because you're sad. We are literally fighting for our lives every day, putting our lives on the line. And yeah, Rudy is OP, so it gives him, he acts a little bit less like put together, because he kind of underestimates his skills. And that's kind of a big character flaw with Rudy, is that he does a lot of underestimating himself. He's still not confident in his own abilities, and he's still not confident in his own body, and just everything. So he's kind of getting chewed up, and the guy's right. Rudy has kind of just been going through the motions here. He's having a really cringe moment, and people are getting really tired of the depression arc, because people don't understand that character development, you can't just have action all the time. You gotta have character development, and Rudy is getting character development. The guy really seriously pulls up again. He's like, bro, if you're gonna do this, do it with your heart, bro. Don't just be out here doing it because it's fun. And I guess this is a different day. They don't really do a good job of showing when the day has changed. But yeah, so I don't even remember the other guy. Who was with them before? Oh, the guy with the green hair. Yeah. So the guy with the green hair dies while they're out. And they get separated from Sarah. And they're like, holy freaking crap, what are we gonna do? Rudy's just like, bro, I got this. And he goes out, he clears the blizzard. There's really a blizzard that they had to retreat from. And he's like, nah, I got this. And honestly, like, he goes out into the woods, and he's literally kind of on like a suicide mission. Not really, but like he's literally just like wandering into the woods. Like anybody else probably would have died, but he is literally out here like casting full like magic. Like he's literally just like infiltrating the lair with zero problems. he ends up finding the one of the guild members, the team's skulls, and like there's also he brings a skull home, and he finds the girl wrapped up in a freaking like I don't even know what this is, dude. It's like a freaking tree demon that can do like crazy magic. He's literally like dropping ice. And shout out to the animators for this amazing intense sequence. I'm seriously, guys, the animators over there are doing the right thing. All right, these animators know how to do it, when to do it, and what to do. And these guys just make they really know when to pop. Probably my biggest complaint of this show is that the fight scenes don't last long enough, but the rest of the show is simply just beautiful and exquisite. So he's able to capture her. He rinses her off and heals her and stuff, and they finally come to a bit of an understanding. So I guess, and she actually gives him like a genuine smile. So I guess I was wrong about that being his sister. It's definitely just a girl who looks like him, another basic white girl. Which makes sense why I thought they were related. So he brings her home, and it's a bit of a happy ending. He kind of gets his confidence back at the end. He's like, even though she didn't like me, I went out there and I still saved her, and like, I feel like we've come to a bit of an understanding. So like, I'm gonna move on out of here. You guys have taught me a lot. We're even, and if I see you again, I hope we get to work together again. So it's a really good episode, and I think they're going to keep working together in the future. He's still probably gonna be staying in the town for a little longer, and then he puts his little panties back in the friggin' box, and he's like, Papa bless, God bless, I can sleep good tonight. So we are really liking Mushoku Tensei. This show is constantly keeping me glued to my seat. I'm very happy with this show, very very happy. Mushoku Tensei, the world and everything just really gets me going. Where's that scene of depressed Rudy? I gotta end it on that scene. So yeah, Rudy is, even though he's kind of an older guy technically, he's still just a kid. He really doesn't have a clue what to do. And honestly, I really look forward to seeing where he's going, and I really am looking forward to seeing how this show plays out. So if you guys are into more reviews like this, let me know. Leave me a like, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.